This is Max Shears for Pro Boxing Fans and Black. We're joined as always by Darren Till. Darren, the last time I spoke to you was just before the Luke Rockhold fight. Obviously, that's boxing. This is different now. I mean, the more and more I speak to fighters, the more I learn about is how important the mental side of combat sports really is. Is there any difference when you're preparing for BKFC compared to boxing, or is a fight to you?
Look, yeah, look, a fight's a fight, whether it be MMA, Muay Thai, kickboy. You're going in there, you got your nerves, you're preparing, obviously, all eyes on you under the bright lights. But for me personally, I think bare knuckles probably got a little bit more, I wouldn't say emotion involved, but it is probably the rawest form. Like, if you look back, let's say all these films that we all watched 2,000 years ago, where it was all Spartan era and stuff like that, this is as close as you get into that type of thing. Obviously it's with the bare knuckle, so there's you guaranteed no matter what, even if you're just taking a jab, you're gonna split, the skin's gonna split, and there's gonna be blood, sweat, and tears, as people like to say. So I think I think the element is. I think it's a little bit more brutal. So you do get a little bit more. I would say, I'm not going to say worried because a fight is a fight. I'm just going to say you get a little bit more like, oh, whatever, catch this punch, that punch. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
For a camp like this, is it more of just like a boxing camp? I know I've seen you talking about like 16-ounce gloves. You keep the wraps on. Is it just very similar to a normal boxing camp, or is there any differences?
yeah, I think you've got to train it like a normal boxing camp. Most definitely, you've got to do your, every box knows you've got to come in, you've got to do your skipping, you've got to do your bag work, you've got to do all your strength and conditioning, get your road work in and stuff like that. But then it comes down to sparring. How do you spar properly for a bare knuckle fight? Well, you can't really. I've spoke to Rico Franco. He was in camp with us. You don't spar bare fist. The closest you can come to that is the mitts. And even with the mitts, you've got to tread carefully because you can't be getting cut inside the camp. Then you can't fight. So essentially, it's 16-ounce gloves. And I think my own opinion is you just got to wear it when you get in there. You've just got to hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's exactly what bare knuckle is.
Yeah, definitely. Are you still training at Rotunda, or are you not there anymore?
No, me and Declan train, me coach Declan O'Rourke, we train together. So obviously I train out to basically Declan's gym. We've obviously I've located to Dubai, so we train there out of KO cross box, and then we train out of our gym in Cyprus, David A's gym as well. So yeah, we're sort of just me and Declan, out on the road on our own, just loving life and training really hard and just committed to the sport.
Definitely. I mean, you've had a mad life so far, and this is just another discipline. To you, what is maybe the hardest discipline, the most technical? Like, what would you say stands out as the hardest for you, do you think?
Where are we going down here? I think brutal wise, I think you've got to give it to Muay Thai. I do think boxing's more taxing on the brain for longevity in life, but I think Muay Thai is definitely the more brutal out of the lot. But then you have because it's shin against face and elbow, so that and then I put bare knuckle close up there. So yeah, I'd say Muay Thai and bare knuckle are probably the two brutal ones, and then boxing is a more taxing, like a one on your brain because you're just taking continuous punishment to the head, and then obviously MMA is also very brutal. But I think out of a lot of them, yeah, Muay Thai has to be up there.
Obviously, it's Aaron will be the first opponent. Was there any kind of you want Aaron Chalmers, or was you just given this opponent as the first one of the three fight deal?
Just the same in my Misfits career, UFC career, and Muay Thai career. I've never really asked for an opponent. I just get who's given to me, and they gave me Aaron. Aaron accepted. Kudos to him. And yeah, that was it. There was no real hard negotiation with it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, from the time I've spoke to you over you three fights in boxing and before then, the thing is there's a respect for someone stepping in the ring. But to you, in terms of levels and your fighting experience, do you think you are just on another level to Aaron Chalmers, I imagine?
I think I'm on another level to most of them, yeah. But that doesn't take away the fact that you have to respect every man and his discipline, and every man has two hands, 2 feet, two elbows, two knees. So I'd be a fool to go in there thinking I'm the superior to Aaron. Do I think I'm superior? Yeah, but I'd be a fool to go in there thinking, oh, I don't have to work as hard or I don't have to do this or that. If anything, because there's more pressure on me to beat Aaron, I should be training twice as hard, which I have done this camp. So yeah, look, I think all round I'm the better, bigger, stronger fighter, but that don't mean a thing. This is not some simulation with him where I'm meant to win. You've just seen what happened with Usyk and Rico, and Rico was winning, and obviously they can't have that in boxing, can they? So they found a way to give it to Usyk.
I'd say you fed perfectly into my next question. I've spoke to you in the past, and I know you spoke about crossing over into like that professional side of boxing. Was you surprised by Rico Verhoeven's performance, or did you almost see what he offers in kickboxing and how that could translate in the boxing ring?
I just think it's an awkward style. So I think Usyk's obviously he's always fought, your high level pro boxers, and they've all got the same style. They all move their head the same, stuff like that. Rico was an awkward opponent, a tricky character. So I think it took Usyk a lot longer to figure him out. And then when he figured him out, obviously he was catching him that. But I do think Rico should have been given to the 12 round to see what he could come back with. But again, boxing's a cancer. The promoters are cancers. The managers are cancers. Cancer all around. We should make a song about it.
Obviously, I'm sure you've seen the constant back and forth between Dana and Eddie. I mean, you call all promoters cancers. How would you actually compare the business of boxing compared to MMA and more specifically the UFC? How would you actually compare the two?
I think MMA is less political. I think it's more, way less political. I mean, Eddie and Dana are just having it. Who's got the biggest contest, aren't they? Who's got the biggest ego? As we know, God forbid someone gets a one up on one of them. But I do definitely think we have to give thanks to Dana. But MMA is a less political, I want to say sport because it's not a sport, but yeah. But boxing, ah, a lot of poison in the air with boxing, mate. I'm sorry to say.
Just last couple before I let you go, mate. Fury AJ is
Of course,
supposedly done. I mean, just what a big fight. I imagine that'd
don't
be
care.
pretty. You don't
Don't
care?
care.
Would you
Cared
go?
5 years ago when they were both at the top of the game. I've got a
Yeah.
lot of time for AJ. I've met him once or twice. He's a nice, humble character. I've got a hell of a lot of time for Fury, but I don't give a fuck to see the pair of them fight.
Mm.
Don't care, won't watch.
Is that just more on where they're in their career? Like, where do you actually think both of them are in
It's
their career?
just, it's just like again, it's just again with boxing, just dragging things out. Like we wanted to see it when they were both at the height.
Mm.
Like, I just don't want to see it now. I just don't. I'm just not asked. I'm not even. I'm not usually asked anyway when it comes
Mm.
to stuff. But I'm just double defo not asked now. I'm just not asked in the slightest. Just like they just dragged it out. I just honestly, you just couldn't find someone who just doesn't care less than me.
Definitely. Another fight that I imagine you're not overly fussed about, Tommy versus Eddie Hall. I mean, you were supposed to fight Tommy, you didn't do it. And then when you see him fighting Eddie, that must make you feel a certain way that like he's taking. Does Eddie have a chance in that fight, do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think he's going to beat
Yeah.
Tommy, mate.
You think?
I think
How?
he's going to beat
Knockout.
him. Yeah, I think Eddie's going to beat Tommy. We'll see. I don't think Tommy cares. He's made money. He's not a proper athlete, is he? I don't know. I think he's been forced into the sport of boxing by his father. But look, I was watching the Netflix documentary. I actually think John's a fucking good character. I do. I know he obviously hate. I know my name can't be brought up in that household, but yeah, I just think it's a fast fight. But I'm probably more interested in that fight than I am the Fury AJ, which is mad. So yeah.
When you saw John and Carl Froch going back and forth, what did that actually make you feel? Because I know you don't like either of the pair. Like, what do you actually think about
John just makes loads of threats to everyone and never follows through. One day he's going to have to follow through on one of his threats at least so we take him seriously because no one takes him seriously these days. Maybe he just has to follow through on his threat with me and just punch my head in. So we'll see.